Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guest today is Her Most Excellent Pinkness, singer Alisabeth Von Presley. Elizabeth, welcome.
Hey, Dennis. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's nice to have you here. It is Christmassy. You are busy all year long, but never more so than Christmas season, because Christmas in the key of A has become a pretty big tradition in our area.
I'm pretty stoked about it. Yep, gearing up for another fun family festive show this year.
How many years is this for this show?
This is the third year. We started the year of the pandemic. Yeah, so this is exciting to get to do it this time. Everyone unmasked. So yeah.
That's right.
Yep,
yes.
I'm stoked.
Audience will be a little bit more comfortable.
Exactly. Yep. For the first year we had 2 seats, 5 seats in between. 2 seats, 5 seats. This year we're able to bring everybody down.
You do a show like this, you know, there are some things you kind of like to do from year to year, but you always want to bring in something new. Mm-hmm. I think it's the biggest challenge of any show during the year is, okay, how to have that balance between this is what people are coming to for my show because they saw it last year, but I also have to give them something different. When do you start planning? Absolutely.
I plan all year. So I'm currently in probably the 75th revision of the set list and continuously changing. So when I'm putting together a show, I usually put together a 4-hour show. And then as I practice and move through it, I figure out what works and what doesn't. And and then I just move on from there. Yeah.
So let's start with what from past years are you keeping this year? What has been so great there is no way you could do Key of A without it?
You know, I don't think there's any song that I've done all 3 years. Yeah, I think last year I repeated a couple, and then this year I'm repeating 3 from last year because the dances were just too fun to not do again. Yeah, so the big dance number, a couple of the big dance numbers, and then I have a couple surprise guests, so you may see some friendly and familiar faces on stage, but doing something a little different than what you've seen them do before.
All right, and tell me, again, without spoiling too much, but what is new this year?
This year, we have a couple special characters. Mr. Clark Griswold is going to make an appearance. I rewrote the opening number of Beauty and the Beast, the song Belle, and it is all Cedar Rapids themed. It's all coming home for Christmas. So we've got a little Captain Crunch. We've got Crunch Berries. We've got 5 local celebrities, icons, maybe a famous newsman that we all know, news anchor, Weatherman. And yeah, so it's going to be really cool.
You have kind of in addition to special guests, you kind of have a regular cast of rotating characters. So who else is in the show with you?
I do. I have an incredible group of 8 backup dancers that have been traveling the nation with me all year doing pop and rock. So it's fun to get to do something a little more classic and in an environment like the Paramount. I mean, that's one of the most beautiful venues I've ever had the opportunity to perform in. So getting to put on a show of that caliber in such a gorgeous space that's right in our backyard it makes Christmas extra special for all of us. Yeah. And I think everyone in the crew didn't love Christmas as much as I did at the beginning, but now we all listen to Christmas music all year round.
So you mentioned the 8 dancers.
Yes.
And special guests who are going to remain nameless, but you've got who's in the band and other singers.
Yep. So I've got a 5-piece band this year. I've a couple of new players in there. I've got a rock bassist, Shane Lunsford, this year that I've included in there. He's in a bunch of awesome local bands. And Shondell Young is joining me as well, who is Cedar Rapids' favorite back in the show choir season. And as a music teacher and educator, he's incredible. So he's going to be sitting at my pink grand piano. So I'm really excited to get him in the fold. And then, Trevel, Valda, Jake, Jerry, John, lots of J names in there. Those are my bandmates, and they're trucking through it with me, you know. Yeah, augmenting keys, last minute and things like that. But they're incredible musicians, and I'm lucky to get to work with them.
You mentioned that the Paramount is one of your favorite spaces ever. Yeah. Now, I've known you for a little while, and I know that you first performed on the Paramount stage. You were probably in elementary or middle school the first time.
Very little.
You took that stage. So, what does it feel like to come back into that room, even though you come back year after year, but to come back not as someone just a part of somebody else's show, but someone creating and performing the entire show?
Absolutely. The first time I performed on the stage, I think I was 5. 5 or 6 years old. And then, of course, through the Follies throughout the years and dance recitals and things like that. So to get to have the opportunity to do, to envision the space how I see it is really, it's priceless to me. The first year that I did it, I saw my name on the marquee and I started crying because I never thought that I would get to that, and that's as an artist and as a musician, as an original musician too, it means so much to have a community support me enough that I can do a show like that on that caliber, on that stage, and be able to afford it, and to have people show up. And tickets are selling so well, and I'm so ecstatic about that. So yeah, to get to see the growth from me just being a little girl, to now I'm the costumer, the choreographer, the director, my hand is in all of it. It's really cool experience.
Those of us who live here, of course, see you do, big shows and small shows throughout the year. But I know that you're on the road touring a lot. So tell me about that life and how that's going and what's coming up in the next year.
Touring is so fun, Dennis. Taking your original music. When I tour, I'm doing mainly originals on the road and performing for people who have no idea who I am. It's really thrilling because every night I get to redefine myself. Here, people know who I am. They know what I do. They know what I stand for. But when I go to a new place, they have no idea. So it also means so much. Like this year on tour, because I did the NBC's American Song Contest earlier this year, people were singing my lyrics back to me. So we were in Baltimore, Atlanta, all over. And these people are singing my words back to me. And that was, it's unreal, truly, to be able to have a song that I wrote, just sitting in my bedroom, and these strangers that I don't know, it touched them in some way that they use it to empower them the way that I hope that they would when they heard it. Yeah, so it's really cool.
I was going to ask you what your most memorable experience on the road was, but I think having people sing your songs back to you.
It is really, I can't even put to words truly how that feels. Yeah, it's really cool.
It's Christmas in the Key of A, Alisabeth Von Presley and Company,
yes.
For the third year at the Paramount Theatre, and tickets available at the normal Paramount venue works.
CREventslive.com is the new
That's
one.
right. That's kind of where everything's settled.
Yep, we're pushing everybody there. Yep.
And tickets are going fast, but still some available.
Yep. Still some available.
Well, it's a great way to kick off the holiday season, and I'm so glad you're back doing the show again, and looking forward to another great year. And, stop by every now and again. Keep us posted on what's happening.
Will do. Thank you, Dennis, for all that you do. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Yep. Again, CREventslive.com if you'd like tickets to Christmas in the Key of A. You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio many weekdays at 10:30, or download the podcast, watch or listen on your own schedule at kcck.org/culture, or however you get your podcasts. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.